Go to MidasChicago.com for valuable savings. Honda. Test drive a 2009 Honda today at your Honda dealer. McDonald's of Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Dedicated to giving you the security to experience wellness everywhere. The all-new 2010 Lexus RS. Reinventing the vehicle that invented it all. Aflac. We've got you under our wing. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
Welcome back to U.S. Cellular Field, where the Southwest starting lineup for the Cleveland Indians has Cabrera leading off with Sizemore and Martinez hitting 2 and 3. Chu, who's been very hot against the Sox, then Peralta, Garco, Carroll, Francisco, and Kelly Shopik getting the nod behind the plate and hitting 9. The Lowe's defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Clayton Richard is left to right. Nix, Posednik, and Dye in the outfield. The infield, Beckham, Ramirez, Getz, and Konerko. A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate, and Clayton Richard looking for win number 4 on the mound. And Clayton is our U.S. Cellular starting pitcher. As you can see, opponents hitting him fairly hard, especially the right-handers. Left-handers, because of a good changeup, have had trouble with him. The game conditions are absolutely gorgeous. 74 degrees, 55% humidity, winds out of the southeast, 8 to 12, and it is mostly sunny. Just a great day for baseball, and the umpires today. Behind the plate, Tim Sheeta, Bob Davidson at first, Jeff Nelson at second, Mark Carlson at third, and with the first pitch of the ball game, my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this brief 3-game homestand. And the first pitch of the ball game is taken for a strike by Asdrubal Cabrera. Cleveland comes in at 33 and 52, 13 and a half games back of Detroit. That's fouled away, so very quickly the count 0-2. Indians hitting at 260 as a club with a 5.34 ERA. They are 14 and 27 on the road, while they are 19 and 25 at home. One and two the count, and here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. Count hangs at 1-2.
And Cabrera has been a very good hitter for the Indians this year. Give him a lot of flexibility, hitting from both sides of the plate. Also, he's really solidified the defense. Has a lot more range at shortstop than Peralta, and he can go get him in either direction.
He's a good player. Last year, I think, well, Indians couldn't explain it. He couldn't explain it after coming off that real good season in 07. Half a season, I should say. That ball hit hard into the gap. Nobody's going to get that one. One hops to the fence. So the leadoff double by Cabrera.
Well, we told you that the right-handers had a lot more luck, and that was a fastball that was up and out over the plate, belt high down the middle. You usually don't get too many people out with these. Jason Nix gets it back in, but not before Cabrera winds up in scoring position to lead off the game.
That'll bring up the DH this afternoon, not the center fielder. The DH, Grady Sizemore, hitting at 235, 13 homers, 47 driven in. Fakes the bunt, takes the ball. Sizemore 3 for 8 with a couple of homers in this series. Lifetime against Clayton Richard, has faced him 10 times, has 2 hits, both of which stayed in the park. And that ball was ticketed for the left side, left center. This is the 12th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 11, Sox have won 7.
Sizemore's going to try to do everything he can to pull this ball. He wants to make sure that Cabrera winds up at third. Clayton's job is to do everything he can to make sure that Sizemore hits the ball to the left side or flies out to left field.
Got it on the fist right there, fouls it back. So the count 1-2. Well, the one pitch, you know, Stevie, when you were going over the stuff of Clayton Richard. The one pitch that has really set him up in poor stead, so to speak, to the right-handers, he has not been able to get the breaking ball over.
No. And that leaves him basically a one-pitch pitcher.
Checks it up, takes ball 2 downstairs.
Now, Sizemore has fanned 63 times this year, so he's no stranger to the strikeout, and he will expand that zone. Another good slider, low and away, probably gets him here or forces him to hit the ball to the left side.
Now, Scott fell off there. To go. Ramirez breaking in behind Cabrera, who is 8 for 9 in stolen bases. And a full count. I'm going to keep the damage to a minimum right here. This is the man you want. No walks. Beckham well off the line at third. And the payoff pitch. So the first 2 men aboard. And that'll bring up the switch hitting first baseman this afternoon, Victor Martinez.
Martinez has been a lot better hitter from the left side. He'll face Clayton from the right side, where he's a step slower. In the oddity with Martinez, he's grounded into 7 double plays. Surprisingly, 6 of them as a left-hand hitter. So you got to turn one over and make him hit the ball on the ground to help you get out of this first inning.
So a tough start here for Clayton after his last outing. And there's first pitch strike. In that last outing against Kansas City, they didn't kill him. He had some bad luck with a couple of little soft duck snorts that fell in for some damaging base hits.
Going into Minnesota with as good a ball club as they have, you want a long performance out of Clayton today.
One and one to count with Shin Soo Choo on deck. There goes the runners. And Beckham could not hold on to it. Now Cabrera is going to get up. He's going to score. And it is 1-0 Indians.
Well, that's a game plan against Richard, is sometimes he doesn't look back twice, and he is usually slow to home plate. So there are 2 speed burners on. The double steal, and we'll see where the error is charged. AJ actually makes a good throw. It goes E5. You catch the ball, he's out. Miss it, score a run, and now a world of problems.
Two balls and a strike. Martinez trying to stay inside it, get it to the right side, and the count evens at 2. We had to score anyway.
I would say we're going to have to score a lot today. And this is a day for it because it looks like a very lively ballpark.
He gone.
But with a couple of good pitches, you get out of this with just 1 run. Consider yourself fortunate. And this time the fastball is right inside, throws it right by Martinez. Now you have to get by the formidable Chu, who, except for Contreras, has hit just about everybody on our staff.
Chu hitting at 301, 13 long ones, and 54 knocked in. Takes first pitch strike. He is 2 for 6 in the series with a homer, and lifetime against Clayton he is 2 for 8. Ball is striking out here in the top of the first. 1-0 Bad Guys if you're just tuning in. Little top hand on that one, hooks it foul. And the count 1-2.
And Clayton has got to take a couple of looks back at Sizemore, who normally is not only fast but a very good base runner. This year he hasn't been a good base stealer, but he still has that kind of speed.
Sizemore last year 38 stolen bases in 43 attempts. That breaking ball misses, and again there's a pitch that Clayton has got to show these hitters that he can get over.
I think right now he's lost his release point in that he's trying to throw it on the outside corner, which for a slider isn't real good, because as big as his slider breaks, throw it over the middle of the plate.
And a full count. The Indians have already accomplished a lot in this thing, even if they don't score another run, because he is throwing a lot of pitches.
Well, this is his 24th coming up, and there's only one out here in the first inning.
Chopper foul. Johnny Peralta on deck. Jose Contreras, what a day he had yesterday. 6 1/3, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Just dominated the Indian hitters. Get over there. He will, and that's out number 2.
Pretty good comeback against Chu, because when you're 3-1 against a guy that hits the ball that well, you've got to make 2 very good pitches. He did just that. If Paul gets his hands on it, you can pretty much take it to the bank that you're going to be out.
Cannot ease up here. Peralta is dangerous. Numbers aren't that good, but make a mistake and he will burn you. Johnny hitting at .254, 6 homers and 36 driven in.
Last year Peralta hit 23 home runs, drove in 89. This year he's become very pull conscious, and normally when that happens his batting average starts to sink.
Change up misses, and the count 2-0. Goes through the high fastball at 93.
There's not a lot of guys in this league with as much power to right center as they have to left center, but Peralta is one of them.
Checks it up, fouls it off, and that evens the count at 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the first.
We'll take a look at the hits by direction. Pretty consistent all the way around. Power numbers well down this year. And maybe it's a conversion to third base every day. Who knows?
And that's a souvenir right side. That one at 95. Take him right here, Clayton. Bullet base hit. It is 2-0. So the leadoff double comes around to score on the era. And the walk comes around to score on the base hit by Peralta.
That looked like a cut fastball that didn't cut very well, and it turned into the 37th run batted in for Johnny Peralta as he takes it through the left side. The Indians jump on top of the pair.
Here's the right fielder this afternoon, Ryan Garco, hitting at 266. Takes ball 1. Garco 2 for 7 in the series.
Clayton on pace to throw 270 pitches.
That's been done before.
It has been. Won't be done by him, but it has been.
I was telling some guys today, we were talking about the heat in Kansas City and St. Louis. And Sam McDowell on a day that it was 126 on the field through 256 pitches.
But see, he was just getting loose at about the 175 mark.
They got him picked off with a good throw. Grabs some bench. I don't know if Jess got him. No, phantom tag got him right there. Meanwhile, some damage is done. Indians put a 2 spot on the board after a half inning of play. It's the Tribe 2 and the good guys coming to bat.
Been as hot as you can possibly be. Then Jermaine Dye, Jim Thome the DH, Paul Konerko was also swinging the bat real well. A.J. Pierzynski, Jason Nix, Chris Getz, Gordon Beckham. Close defensive setup, Chu Francisco and Garco in the infield, Peralta, Cabrera, Carroll and Martinez, Shopik behind the plate, and the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher David Huff, who's looking for his 4th loss. ERA up over 6. He's given up way more hits than innings. And Sox in a 2-run hole.
It's all right. We got all of them left, though. All 27 of them. 24-year-old southpaw David Huff out of Huntington Beach, California, 6'2", 190 pounds. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. On the outside corner, Pies does not agree with that call.
Tim Cheetah thought it was good enough.
Tim Cheetah's one of the best in the business. Now, does that mean he's going to give everyone right? No. But he is a good one. He does not go. Takes it up in the count 2-2. Pods hitting at 310. 2 for 7 in this series. Ate him up inside. No play. That'll be a base hit.
Well, that was in no man's land, right between Peralta and Cabrera. Peralta doesn't have much range, and he probably would have been better suited to let it get by him because he'd have been on the ground with no chance to throw out Posednik. Turns into a base hit and a very promising start to the first inning. This one inside outed.
Well, that's a big part of Pod's arsenal against the left-hander.
Absolutely. Get the ball, slap it to the left side, and beat it out.
Here's Alexei. Ramirez hitting at 279, 11 homers and 42 driven in. Checks it up, takes low.
Ryan Garco doesn't have much range in right field. He's got a decent enough arm, but
only range he's got right here is in.
Yeah, he can come in. He's playing awfully deep. Wants to cut off the triple.
That ball. Souvenir left side. Alexi has faced David Huff 3 times, has 2 hits, one of which stayed in the park.
David Huff was a sandwich pick. That's between the first and second round. 39th player chosen overall in the 2006 draft. So they thought pretty highly of him. And here he is in the major leagues with a winning record.
That ball hit hard. Left field. Chu is there, makes the catch. That's the hang woofum for Alexi. And with 1 out, let's check out how Heineken picks the click this afternoon. Jim Angio, our Hall of Fame director and the crew, they went with Chris Getz, Lisa, Tex, and Steve. They're going to go with Alexi Ramirez and Frank Luntz. And old Baker and I, we're going to go with Jason Nix.
I'm trailing every station we happen to do games. I'm at the bottom.
You got to play harder, son.
I guess. I thought Ramirez hit that ball awfully hard, by the way.
He's worse than Charlie Wilson. He's the ultimate lobbyist. Jermaine Dye takes strike 1. Jermaine at 297, 20 homers, 54 driven in. Good eye, and that evens the count. Top of the second in Milwaukee, no score. Cardinals in the Brew Crew. They got a barn blower up there in D.C. Bottom of the 11th, tied at 10. There's a base hit back through the middle. This reaches out on that changeup and serves it into center field. Jermaine now 5 for 9 in this series.
Jermaine had 3 runs batted in last night. This is a changeup that's supposed to die low and away, and instead Jermaine goes out and gets it. He doesn't use a big bat, but he's got such tremendous plate coverage. And apparently at his size, you have particularly long arms. You don't need a long bat.
That's why he can get that inside fastball, hit it hard, and keep it fair. As here's Big Jim Thome hitting at 252, 13 homers, 43 driven in, checks it up and takes it inside.
Well, if Jim takes the inside pitch, he's going to be in pretty good shape because he can drive the ball to left center with anybody. They're playing him almost straight away. Francisco a step or so into left center.
Cabrera very close. Is he hanging out around second base?
Well, normally they can't use the same shift when you have a man at second because Peralta would be actually at shortstop. Now he has to play close to third to guard against a stolen base.
And Jimmy's got the catbird seat, 2-0. Sox will conclude this series this afternoon and head on out to Minnesota. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against Ron Gardenhire's Twinkies.
We're having their hands full with the Yankees.
They always do.
And the Yankees are starting to really heat it up.
That ball high and foul. And the count 2-1. Yeah, Minnesota has always had a problem with the Yankees.
Boston's about ready to have a problem with them also because the Yankees are 1 game in back of the Red Sox. Yankees 16 over. Red Sox 51-33. But the Yankees have picked up 3 games in the last 10 they've played.
Outfield about equidistant. Swung around to the left. They're spread out. Drops the breaking ball on him, and the count 2-2.
There you look at the standings. Tampa Bay Rays are starting to mount a bit of a challenge. They've got some closer problems.
That's going to be an interesting scenario there, because last year their starters kept their bullpen healthy, and not so far this year. That's a fair ball. Nice play by Martinez. He'll take it himself. So the catcher, now first baseman. Good play, and that's out number 2.
You see Martinez fairly close to the line, and he's able to make this play. Then he has to take it himself. But a base hit now scores 2.
And a big round of applause for Konerko.
Which you could understand.
All he's done in this series, go 5 for 8, 3 homers, and knocked in 8.
It'll be interesting to see what happens on the first pitch, because that's what he's been picking on. If he gets a hittable fastball, usually it winds up in left field or over it.
Paulie on the season at 304, 16 long ones and 58 RBIs. Takes first pitch strike. That's the last thing he was looking for in that situation.
I'm a little surprised they're actually pitching.
Me
to
too.
him.
You know, the way they've been playing. Me too.
And you've got Brzezinski in the on deck circle, lefty, but let's see if it works out for Eric Wedge and David Huff.
Way inside 1-1. Yeah, when you've been scuffling like the Indians have, and people are going to say, well, he's balls a go ahead run. That doesn't make any difference. When you're scuffling like they've been, you got to roll the dice every now and then. But he's got something in mind. That's a fair ball. They got plenty of time, but the throw is bad. That's going to score a pair, and this game is tied at 2.
Well, that's got to go as a base hit and then E5. And again, it didn't work out particularly well, but we said it before the fact, not after the fact. It's just surprising to me that you take a guy who's second on the team or leading the team in runs batted in and allow him to hurt you. This is a rolling breaking ball. This one stays high up in the zone. Peralta does a nice job of getting to it. Now, he had all kinds of time, but he throws it way wide of first. No chance for Martinez at all on this. And I think Peralta forgot who was running, because he had time to set himself and make a good throw. He's got a strong arm.
Here's AJ. AJ at 302, 9 homers, 25 driven in. As I said, down that first fastball strike right down the middle of Paulie, that's the last thing he was looking for.
Single E5. And RBI number 59. More importantly, a brand new game.
And that's fouled straight back above us. Oh, and 2 the count to Pierzynski. First time AJ has seen David Huff. Just got a piece of that breaking ball. Good job by AJ right there. That was a tough pitch.
David Huff is working at his 24th pitch, so both pitchers worked pretty hard in their first innings of work. Now they're going for the high heat. Let's see if AJ can lay off.
That's into center field, right at Francisco. But again, some damage is done. Couple cross the plate. We'll go to the second, tied at 2.
The Indians, the last 5 games, the batting average is astounding. The runs, doubles, home runs, and this year, so far, the Sox have dominated the season series. But the last 5 have been particularly enjoyable. Ozzie has to like the way his team came back in that first inning after giving up a pair. Coming back with 2, and we start things over again.
First pitch to Ryan Garco. Breaking ball, strike. That breaking ball hit down the line, but nicks quickly over. Garco with the leadoff single.
That's just a rolling breaking ball. There's not much snap on that at all, and Garco takes it right down the line. Fortunately, Jason Nix playing him also as a pull hitter right there to hold him to a single, so the double play's still in order.
And fortunately, that ball's still in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Jamie Carroll, 35-year-old veteran. That's high and wide in the count, 2-0. Clayton's going to have to get himself together out there.
He doesn't have good stuff today, but when you don't have good stuff, that's when you have to throw more strikes.
And the count 3-0. Well, you got to have plan B. And it takes time for a youngster to develop plan B.
When you are a young pitcher, and he is that, it's going to take a while, and right now he's really struggling with all of his pitches with the location of the fastball. Hasn't really broken out much of any straight change, and the slider is just not working very well.
So the first 2 men aboard again. I would say that here comes Ozzie.
This is probably not going to be the friendliest of conversations that Clayton's ever had.
Well, you know, the thing about youngsters, though, when they get out there and they don't have plan B, they've got to invent something. And most of the time, it's been my experience in watching them and talking to pitchers and pitching coaches, the simple thing to do is just to get them to shorten up, as you see Ozzie and Carrasco down in the pen, just to shorten up their stride a little bit. Give them another focal point, because if you don't give them something, then they're going to be in the same spot that they're in while they're getting themselves into trouble.
I think one of the easiest things for pitchers to realize is go below the hitting zone as opposed to trying to put a little something on it, because put a little something more on it, you gain a mile an hour. You go below the hitting zone, you get guys out in front of it.
Plus, if you try to put more on it, you're going to go out there another inch or two on your stride.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it makes very little sense, because you're right in a good hitting spot anyway. So he throws good aggressive fastball on the first pitch.
The 0-1 pitch to Francisco.
Francisco's had a good run against Richard.
And the count 1-2. I've seen managers in this situation. Of course, it's not going to happen in today's game, but I've seen them in this situation where they give a young pitcher who's in their rotation, they have 2 or 3 bad starts. First thing you know, he's 2-0-3-1 on everybody. Come out there and say, look, I don't care what you do today, young man. Your behind is on this bump for 9. I don't care how many pitches you throw. And a full count.
And he's really tried to heat him up inside 4 straight times.
That ball's hit hard, but way foul. So the leadoff single, back-to-back walks to Carroll and Francisco. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Book a White Sox group outing or party area today. You can save on each ticket for a group of 20 or more fans, whether it's the warning track, fan deck, or individual game diamond suites. They're all available. Book a group outing or party area today by calling 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
Kelly Shopik, the catcher, stands in. 1 for 4 lifetime off Richard. And it is a 6-2 ball game. Grand slam homer by Shopik. And still nobody out.
And Richard threw all fastballs to Francisco, and Shopik just went up there as a dead fastball hitter, looking for one pitch. He got it and hit it over the bullpen. And that's going to be it for Clayton Richard. Our Ford home run replay is another first ball fastball, and that one long gone.
Well, we got a chance to have some fun today. This could be a bean blower. So Clayton departs, and we'll be back.
Game 2-0, ERA 351 up for the 29th time. And he has to restore a little order here as the Sox trail 6-2. Single, a couple of walks, and a grand slam home run by Kelly Shopik. And just after the Sox tied it up, seemingly in a blink of an eye, it's a 4-run Tribe lead.
Asdrubal Cabrera doubled and scored last inning. Takes the fastball high and wide. 6-4-1 for them. 2-3-1 for us. But we will score more than 6 today.
Well, let's hope that they don't.
Because
DJ,
that's the key.
DJ hasn't got one over yet.
There's a strike. Yeah, you got to treat this one like we're just going to have a little fun today, boys. Get these bats. Whoa, not even close. That's the third walk of the inning. And here's Sizemore. He walked and scored last inning.
The line score for Clayton Richard: 1+ innings, 6 runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. All runs were earned.
And you might be saying, how could those first two be earned? Because he was not called out at third base on the error by Beckham. There's a strike. If they had called him out and the ball had gotten away, then they would have been unearned.
Yes.
Two balls and a strike. And the count's 3-1. Martinez on deck and Chu in the hole. So the fourth walk of the inning.
Don Cooper now coming out. He wants to talk with Carrasco.
Now, DJ might, if things go like this, might have to eat a few innings today.
Also, we have the addition of Tony Pena. That'll help that pen a bit.
So 6 men have come to the plate. Started off with a single by Garco, the walk to Carroll, the walk to Francisco, first pitch grand slam by Shopik, the walk to Cabrera, and now the walk to Sizemore. Victor, who struck out last inning. Bottom of the fourth in Minneapolis, 5-4 Yankees. Houston and the Nasty Nats tied at 10, bottom of the 11th in D.C. Should be. He can't run. Back him up.
For the 8th time, Martinez is grounded into a double play. The 7th time left-handed. And it gets pretty easy.
Watch Alexi's back leg there. Gets it up and out of the way.
Sizemore went in hard at second base, which is what you should do.
Yeah, he could grab the bag as there's a strike to Chu. So just a good slide. One to count. Shin-Soo Choo. And it's 1-2. Tampa Bay leading Toronto 3-2 at home. That's in the top of the 7th. Top of the 4th in Milwaukee. Still no score. Cardinals and the Brewers. And that's chop foul. Chu's timing just a little bit off.
Well, DJ tried to go higher than high and throw it by him, but he was able to foul it back.
Nice stop by A.J.
That one saves a run because that ball was a tough ball to handle. Whenever a breaking ball from a right-hander hits the dirt, it spins back in the other direction. A.J. was able to knock it down. That was a good effort.
The 2-2 pitch. Another nice pick right there by A.J.
That one a little bit better because that was a little tougher.
Wow. That's a big league pick right there.
Especially when you get a hop around knee high.
Payoff. So the third walk of the inning by DJ, the fifth by our pitching. And that'll bring up Peralta.
The Indians have batted around here in the second. As DJ tries to retire them and get out of the inning.
Stone Pony, we got them right where we want.
With a whole lot of offense left.
Breaking ball low. And the count evens at 1.
This is Mother Sunday at the ballpark. Saw a lot of moms with their young sons walking around before the game. A pretty good crowd on hand.
And the count 1-2. '26-year-old Johnny Peralta. RBI single last inning. AJ already is going to feel like he's been ridden hard and put away wet.
He's blocked a lot of low pitches and caught a lot of pitches so far. And of course, there's been a few that he hasn't caught.
That's a high fly ball in the right field. Jermaine is there. Riding that wind a little bit, makes the catch. But the grand slam homer by Kelly Shopik. We go to the bottom of the second, trailing by 4. Second here, Stoney. We got some work to do.
Well, after 6 walks in 2 innings, finally DJ got out of that second inning. So now it's time to take advantage of David Huff. Now, it was a very long top of the second, so perhaps his control won't be exactly as he would look like.
He's got the lower third of our order. Nix, Getz, and Beckham. Nick's hitting at .230, 6 homers. He's driven in 11. First pitch strike. Another action today shows Kansas City at Boston, Washington. I guess in a doubleheader against Houston. Atlanta, Colorado. Dodgers taking on the Mets in New York. Takes it up. And the count 2-1. That's into center field. Francisco broke back, now comes on, and that's out number 1.
July 18th at 3:05, it's the White Sox versus the Orioles. Join the Walgreens Beach Bash. The first 20,000 fans to enter the ballpark will receive a White Sox beach towel presented by Walgreens. For game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
And 1 the count gets. We understand that the first game they're playing right now is completion of a suspended game. Washington and Houston. And the 0-2 pitch. Gets hitting at .245, a homer. He's knocked in 18. Huff will get it and throw it as well. Lays off the breaking ball. So full count. And that's going to fall for a base hit. He just pokes it out there into left center field.
Chris gets a curveball that just rolls up there, doesn't do much, and he just probably hits it as hard as it was thrown. Not very hard, but very effectively for Getz.
Here's Beckham. Takes low ball 1. Gordon hitting at .257, 3 homers. He's driven in 18. 1 for 6 in this series with a couple of RBIs. That's knocked down. And they gets it.
Didn't slide, but maybe you felt like it's a great play by Cabrera. Good effort by Cabrera. He gets the ball quickly from his knees, fires to second, and Chris goes in standing up.
All right, 2 out. And here's Scotty Pides. Had an infield single and scored last inning. One the count. To this day, a lot of players don't understand what a big play that can be in a ball game. As that's the strike, and the count 2-2.
And the difference between actually getting there and being called out could be the opening to a big inning, or now you have to create a whole lot more offense to put together a big inning.
Nice pick by Shopik and a full count. I keep referring back to, over the years, that '83 club, the winning ugly team. That was the best team I have ever seen in extending innings by getting good leads and good jumps when you're on first base with 2 out or 1 out. On plays just like that. As Pod strikes out, and that'll do it. We'll go to the third. It is 6-2 Indians. Will host that along with Tribune writers, sports stars, and celebrities as they discuss today's hottest topics in sports and set the table for the night ahead. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live tonight at 5:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Ryan Garko will start it off. He started off the 4-run second inning. Takes first pitch strike. And the count evens at 1 in that series starting tomorrow at the Hubert A. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis. Johnny Danks will toe the bump against Francisco Liriano in that game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. On Saturday, Gavin Floyd against Nick Blackburn in that game over WGN. And on Sunday, in the finale of that brief set, there's a drop down fastball, Mark Burley against Scott Baker in that game back on Comcast Sportsnet. In the All-Star break,
we're going to face 4 left-handers in a row.
Change that. We're told that Blackburn's going tomorrow.
3 left-handers in a row.
There's just a punched base hit by Konerko.
Garko with a defensive swing turns into gold as he just flips the ball into right field.
I understand Liriano is working today as the Yankees lead that game 6-4. Watch out. Carroll walked and scored last inning.
One thing Jamie Carroll rarely does, and that's swinging a pitch out of the zone.
Two and one to count. There have been a lot of pitches by our guys throwing up the home plate today. Already with nobody out here in the top of the third.
Been a lot of pitches that have missed the strike zone today.
$80 pitches in 2+ innings.
And 6 walks pending the outcome of this 3-1 count.
Full count to Carroll. Roll him up right here. There's Garco, and there's a base hit. Garco will make the turn. He'll go into third, so nobody out, runners at the corners.
You got a pretty good idea that Jamie Carroll's going to make some contact, and that's why Eric Wedge used the hit and run. This is a high fastball. DJ doesn't have particularly good control today. And the Indians offense coming to life.
Maybe we don't have them quite where we want. As here's Francisco, who walked and scored last inning. And that hit it. So the first 3 men aboard.
Fastball gets him right above the elbow on his left arm. So some big problems with the man who hit the grand slam last inning.
And if you miss that slam, poof. First ball fastball from Clayton.
That's what Chapek has always been. You spin the ball up there, usually have no problems with him, but he is a first ball fastball hitter, always has been.
Takes ball 1. And that's foul back.
It's become a familiar sight.
That to me still, talking about grand slams, is one of the greatest little trivia things. Fernando Tatis.
2 in 1 inning?
2 in 1 inning. Because that's not it. Off the same guy.
That'll usually chase you from the game.
Channel Park. I can see a guy getting the opportunity at 2 in 1 inning, but not off the same guy. Yes, he did. Ball gets away, but Garco will not advance.
Well, a breaking ball here gets you a strikeout, and then maybe a double play can get you out of the inning. Chapek, a completely different hitter when you throw anything that curves.
Usually guys that really have a lot of trouble with a breaking ball are hang back hitters. And the 2-2. Close. No cigar. Full count.
Like for an instant there, Shopik thought that maybe he could put his elbow out there, but that ball was inside.
And the payoff pitch. Not even close. Fourth walk issued by DJ. In his 1+ inning. Seventh walk issued already in 2+ innings by Richard and Carrasco. It is 7-2. And here's Cabrera, who has doubled and walked. And turn it. Yes. Another run scores. It is 8-2.
Cabrera, who's got good speed, just doubled up on a good solid play, and the footwork wasn't all that graceful at shortstop, but Alexei does have a strong arm, and he got it there an eyelash ahead of time.
That'll bring up Grady Sizemore, who has walked twice and scored once. 8-6-1 for the Indians, 2-4-1 for our Sox. This will be the 46th pitch thrown by DJ.
Aaron Pareda throwing in the bullpen.
That's foul. Top of the 6th in Minnesota. Yankees still leading 6-4. Three and one to count. Big hack, no contact. This will be the 97th pitch in 2 2/3 innings for our Sox.
Normally when that happens, it doesn't go very well for you.
As a rule.
It's 3 walks in a row to Sizemore. And here comes Don Cooper. It's a good chance.
You're going to have days like this.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do, but there's a good chance I'll be telling him try not to walk anybody.
You're going to have days like this. Catching a ball club that really has been scuffling. And all of a sudden, they don't have to scuffle anymore because you're taking the scuffle out of the equation. It's a day-to-day game, always has been, always will be.
8 walks. 2 2/3 innings along with a hit batsman.
Martinez takes first pitch strike. Victor in his 2 at-bats as a strikeout, and he hit into a 4-6-3 double play. One and one. Big swing by Martinez. And the count 1-2. But those Texas Rangers. Game in front of the Halos. And that's in the center field for a base hit. Another one's going to cross the plate. It's 9-2.
RBI number 58 for Victor Martinez. DJ's gotten a lot of pitches up, but that's the last pitch he'll throw today.
All right. Another pitching change as DJ departs. Aaron Pareda comes on in. We'll be back.
On White Sox ticket and merchandise. To be sure to check out whitesox.com to see what's in store. MasterCard, the preferred card of the Chicago White Sox. And Aaron Pareda comes into the game. He's the third Sox pitcher in this, the third inning. Pareda 1-0, ERA 1.17 on for the 8th time. Last time out, he gave up his first and only run of the year, and he inherits Indians at first and second, a couple of outs here in the top of the third.
And here's Chu, 0 for 1. Takes first pitch strike. Chu has grounded out 3-1, and he has walked. And that's low. Milwaukee has scored a run, still hitting in the bottom of the 5th, leading the Cardinals 1-0. Mentioned the Rangers. They just finished playing the Angels. Rangers won 7 of the last 10. Angels have split the last 10. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chu. Outfield about straight up, about equidistant. And now AJ wants a couple of words with his youngster. So here we go. 2 on, 2 out, the 2-2 pitch. He gone. So they bat around last inning. They send Aiden to the plate here. They score 3, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. It is 9-2 Indians.
Drawer at csnchicago.com, brought to you by Toshiba.
Alexa Ramirez, Jermaine Dye, Jim Thome here in the bottom of the third as David Huff has himself a nice, smooth 7-run lead.
Well, it's smooth to this point. It's still early enough where that could make it a little uncomfortable for him.
That's high left field. Chu's trying to surround it. He does, and makes the catch. Well, this game is still winnable, my man. Still winnable.
7-run lead, still just the third inning. But I don't think that the Tribe is going to be quite as generous in the walk department as our staff has been today.
Here's Jermaine, singled and scored back in the first. And that's out of play. 1-1 to count. It's 2-1. That ball just off the inside corner. Get out of here. It will. In and out of the Indian dugout. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. What was your earliest departure in a ball game?
Well, I'm sure it had to be regular season. I know that I was knocked out in the second for sure at White Sox Park one day. Could very well have been the first inning.
The ball's hammered foul.
I do know I gave up 5 home runs one day to the Big Red Machine, 5 solo home runs.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that.
Jim Marshall came out to take me out. He said, "I think you've had enough." It was in the third inning. I said, "The record's 6. I got a long way to go." He said, "Go into the dugout."
Count hangs at 2-2. Maine hitting an even 300 as he stands up to that dish. And there's a good eye.
Well, if it takes this to heat up this Tribe team, they go to Detroit for 3 before the All-Star break, so perhaps they can carry over some of this offense.
Line shot by Ed Garco. So 2 down, that'll bring up Tomey.
It's a beautiful day here if you discount the scoreboard. The temperatures outstanding in the low 70s.
72.
Pretty nice.
As you speak. Tomey is first at bat with 2 on 1 out, hit a ground ball hard down the first baseline that Victor Martinez made a nice play on to get him at first. And that catches the corner. So 1-1 to count.
They might be playing that suspended game, but it is still suspended.
That's what it would appear. Still in the bottom of the 11th. Tied at 10.
With 1 out.
There's a shot base hit.
And that ball went knuckling out into center field because Francisco moved to his right. And as the ball was coming out there, he had to move back to his left to catch it on the hop. So Jim hit this one right on the button.
So here's Pauly. Pauly 1 for 1, had an infield single and an RBI. He now has 59 ribbies to go along with those 16 homers. So he now has 9 RBIs in this series.
Nice series.
Checks it up and takes ball 1. This will be the 162nd pitch that Tim Cheetah's seen today. And we're just in the bottom of the 3rd.
I thought the game was moving right along.
162 pitches. And there is ball 4. So the first walk issued by Huff, and that'll bring up AJ, who lined out to center field.
They'll get a run or 2 here. You do know one thing: if you can get into that Indian bullpen, usually good things don't happen for them.
Watch out, that ball hit hard but foul. Huff ready with the 0-1 pitch. He did not go. Jason Nix on deck. If AJ can reach. And there is the base hit. Come on, Big Jim. He's lumbering around third. He will score. And it's a 9-3 game. Attaboy, AJ.
RBI number 26. Second time today that AJ's hit the ball right on the button. This one turns into a run batted in. And with 2 outs and nobody on, the Sox have cut the deficit to 6.
One swing of the bat, and we're right back in this Wago.
The advantage of falling behind real early is that you have a lot of outs to go. And the advantage to falling behind the Indians is that they have a very troubled bullpen.
Nix is 0 for 1, went out to center field. That's high into left field. Here comes Chewy, can't get there. So Paulie will score. AJ in the third.
And I don't think that Chew saw that ball.
He couldn't have. That ball had a lot of hang time.
That was up a long time. For whatever reason, he just didn't read it. Could be the fact that he's got no sunglasses on in a very sunny day as he looked up into the sky and couldn't pick up the baseball. This ball should have been out. It wasn't. Chew has to pull up, and it's a 9-4 game.
And here's Getz, who had a single last inning. Takes a tough pitch right there from Huff. And the count 0-1. That ball hit hard into the gap, and nobody's going to get that one. Nix, he's being waved around. He will score behind Pierzynski, and it's a 9-6 ball game.
Well, Huff threw a roller, and it was almost the identical curveball that he threw to Getz in the second inning. And this time, Chris just laces it out into right center field, drives home a pair. He's driven in 20, and it's a 9-6 game. Things have gotten very interesting with 2 outs and nobody on, and they've gotten interesting in a hurry.
One swing of the bat, and we are back in this Wago. So now with Getz, who picked up his 13th two-bagger at second, is Gordon Beckel.
Chris has driven in 20 runs. And what we've seen during the course of this pretty good streak by the Sox as far as the offense is concerned is the bottom part of the order in many games has really picked it up. And from 6, 7, 8, and now Gordon with a chance at 9 and almost had a base hit last time. The bottom part of the order is doing well.
Well, they have been our second catalyst. We've had Scotty Pides at the top along with Alexi. And now we've got a 7th, 8th, and 9th. When you get the lower third of your order producing like ours has been, you're going to win a lot of games. That's what we've been doing. So it makes it so much easier on the middle part, your 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th guys. Those guys now, they feel a lot better. They can operate. They can execute better. The pressure. And that's what baseball is about. That's what sports is about. Pressure.
Well, it's nice to see that with 2 out and nobody on, Jim Thome started to rally. And Carl Willis has had his say as Mike Gosling continues to throw in the bullpen for the Indians.
So Gordon hitting that 6-4 fielder's choice. Can't get it in the count 0-1. 9-7-1 for them, 6-8-1 for us. Just here in the bottom of the 3rd. A bean blower going on. And the count 2-1.
Gordon saved his best hitting with runners in scoring position, 2 outs. That's a real good trait to have as he carries it throughout his career.
Good pitch by Huff. Good pitcher's pitch right there on the 2-1 count.
Threw that one about belt high, but just a touch off the corner, and Gordon couldn't get a whole lot of wood on it.
Hits that ball to the right side. Martinez will make the play, but Sox come right back with a 4 spot. We'll go to the 4th, trailing by 3.
Who was the last Indians player to hit for the cycle? I'm saying Gus Gill. Do you remember Gus?
I played against Gus.
We were told as young fans that Gus had a great glove but didn't hit very well. And then he went 0 for 44 when he came to the big leagues.
That first pitch to Peralta down low. Gus was a good guy.
He could field.
Good guy. Gus Gill, Leo Cardenas.
Where'd you play against them?
Spring training, winter ball. That's foul back. One and one to count. 9-6 Cleveland. You're just tuning in. Indians 2 in the first. Sox came right back with 2 in the second. Indians with 4 in the second. A grand slam homer by Kelly Shopping. Then they added 3 in the third. They led it 9-2. Sox with 4 in the bottom of the third. And this is the bean blower we were talking about. Still a lot of runs to be scored in this game.
Like a pretty
pitch,
good,
didn't get it.
Yeah, looked like a very good pitch. Looked like it might have crossed as a strike. By the time it got to AJ, he caught it out of the zone. That crossed the plate, a strike.
That'll be a hit for Peralta. Well, if you're Tim Cheetah and you've seen around 200 pitches here in the top of the 4th inning, he's not going to get exactly every one of them right.
Nope. The sliding attempt, no baseball. So now, a good pitch to Garco probably turns into a double play. But Garco's had a couple of hits, scored a couple of runs.
Garco is 2 for 2. 2 runs scored. Takes ball 1. Pides. Out number 1.
Host a private party on the U.S. Cellular Field fan deck in center field. Package includes 150 tickets, access to the fan deck for the game, and an all-inclusive food and drink package for the first 90 minutes of the game. Reserve the fan deck today by calling 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
And here's Jamie Carroll. Takes it high and wide. Carroll has walked and scored, singled and scored. Indians in their lower part of the order have done a little damage today. Their 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters have scored 7 times and driven in 4.
Well, if Aaron can just right the ship, he could be in line to get a win here. The way he's throwing the ball and the way the Sox have responded offensively to a 7-run deficit.
Make that 5 RBIs for the Topic has 5 of them. Grand slammer and the bases loaded walk. Yeah, if you're a pitcher this afternoon, you got to be on top of your game.
Yes, you better be.
Another close pitch, didn't get it. That ball hit hard into left field. Nix is there, makes the catch for out number 2.
And you'd love to see the little men hit fly balls. Just let them go ahead, whack it as far as they can. It usually doesn't reach the track.
You pitchers all think alike.
Well, we don't want to see the fast guys hit the ball on the ground or little loopers. Just as soon really feel good about that at bat by hitting a line drive at your outfielder.
Here's Francisco. He has walked. He was hit by a pitch and he scored both times. Fouls that one back. Yeah, the old saying though is diminishing. Play them away, pitch them away. Now these little guys come to play, they can take you out anywhere. Not all of them, but most of them. That's one of the big differences in the game today as opposed to years past. Is that years past you usually have 1 or 2 guys could go home, deep opposite field. Now you got about 7 or 8.
Well, the Maple Bats have done certainly a lot along the lines to make that happen.
Scotty Pides, can of corn. Makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. First time the Indians have not scored, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, trailing 9-6.
Who's the last Indian player to hit for the cycle? And the answer, Travis Hafner, who's getting the day off to this point, August 14th, 03, at the Twins.
Here we go, bottom of the fourth inning. It's a 9-6 Cleveland lead. Top of the order for our Sox, Scotty Pods, Ramirez, and Jermaine Dye. Good breaking ball from Huff. He's thrown a few good ones and a few bad ones. And that's on the outside edge.
Well, normally if you've given up 6 runs on 8 hits and you've done it in 3 innings, you're not around, but Huff still is around.
Well, it's almost like it's David Huff wedge. Hits him on the fist, pops him up. Johnny Peralta. So 1 out, and that'll bring up Alexei. Alexei is 0 for 2. He is lined out to left field, and he is fouled out to left field. Takes low ball 1. Lexi's got the 2-0 count with Jermaine Dye on deck. We don't have to rush into anything, guys. Just give us some good at bats. We're back in this ball game. There he hits the outside edge of the outside corner. Top of the 8th inning now in Minneapolis. Yankees still leading 6-4.
Nice play by Jeff Cox as he retreated a little bit from the coach's box.
Two things that Jeff Cox needs in his life is that's low, ball 3.
Only 2?
He needs a lot of food.
Well, that's a given.
Okay. And he needs a mirror. And he'd be happy. Very unique individual. Watch out.
No, he did not swing, and even on the appeal. Oh, wow.
I don't think so, Bob. Lexi just hands on hips looking down at him.
Well, I think he was trying to completely get out of the way of that.
Well, that doesn't make any difference if the bat goes around. Let's see. Yeah, he didn't swing at this. Oh, he got the head down. That was not a good call.
Nope.
Not a good call. Two 2-0 the count to Jermaine. Jermaine has a base hit to center, a run scored, and he is lined out hard to right. Huff staying away on the 2-0, and Jermaine just a soft foul ball back into the seats. And there's a base hit. So now that call, instead of ball 4, having 2 on 1 out, we got 2 out 1 on. And here's Jim Thome. He started off that 4-run third with 2 out, nobody on. A sharp single, a hammered single to center. Breaking ball, no. Just a short lead by JD. And now 2-0 the count. Paulie on deck. And there's a shot that's foul. If you're just joining us, Indians 2 in the first, Sox 2 in the first. Indians 4 in the second, Sox none in the second. Indians 3 in the third, Sox 4 in the third. Outfield really spread out as they've got the shift on. And the count goes to 3-1 with a tying run on deck.
Jim's probably going to get a fastball here, as you wouldn't believe that Huff wants to walk him with Konerko on the on-deck circle.
There's ball 4. So Paulie, who has an infield single and an RBI, also a walk and a run scored.
Carl Willis calling down to the bullpen to get somebody up. And then he comes out to spend some time to make sure that whoever he has gotten up is getting loose.
Well, if it's Gosselin, he's been up. Won't take him long. But you'd think it would be a right-hander. Whoever it is not particularly in a hurry to get up on the bump.
Jose Veras, who we've seen a couple of times. July 17th at 7-Eleven. It's the White Sox versus the Orioles. Enjoy Mullet Night and post-game fireworks presented by Great Clips. For game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
So here we go. Konerko to the plate. Paulie has his average up to 306. As the outfield, they're spread out. Bit of a gap in right center, but they're almost equidistant. And that's down to Peralta. Picks it up, goes to second. They force Thome, and that'll retire the side. Sox threaten with 2 out, can't score. And we will go to the 5th. It is 9-6 bad guys.
Sportsnet, you can always catch a game on your computer with MLB.tv. The ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer. For more details, visit WhiteSox.com, where baseball is always on.
We are already into the top of the 5th inning. 9-8-1 for them, 6-9-1 for us. It'll be Shopik, then back to the top of the order with Cabrera and Sizemore to face Aaron Pareda.
And Paredes done a nice job since coming on, holding a revved up Indian offense right where he found it.
Shopik 1 for 1, a grand slam homer and a bases loaded walk. And there's a bullet.
First ball fastball. This guy is just sitting there waiting to unload. And he almost unloaded on Joel Skinner, the third base coach.
Outfield straight up, spread out. Oops, the spinner.
They have a breaking ball. And that was a good one. Paredes got pretty good stuff today.
Another spinner. And the count 1-2. Well, Paredes worked himself into a situation here by being effective of one. He could go out there and work on some stuff to one of he's got to keep us in the game. Two entirely different scenarios. Eddie Moe-Intuit is now full. Top of the 8th in Milwaukee. Cardinals have scored 1. Still hitting. Tied at 1 with the Brew Crew. Payoff. So the dreaded leadoff walk. That is the 9th walk issued by our pitching today. And here comes Cabrera. He has doubled, he has walked, and he has hit into a 4-6-3 double play. There's the bunt. Pareda. Nice pick by Paulie. And the sacrifice 1-3.
Good play by Aaron Pareda, because number one, Cabrera can get down the line in a hurry, and number two, he had to do a complete pivot and still throw the ball on the mark. So a good bunt.
Good bunt by Cabrera.
Yeah, he's bunting for a base hit here.
Here's Sizemore. He's been to the plate 3 times today, and he's walked 3 times. Takes it low and away. Final from Tropicana Field in St. Pete. Tampa Bay beats Toronto 3-2.
That's one of the reasons why, with Toronto releasing B.J. Ryan, activating Scott Downs, who's going to be their closer now, and starting to fade out of this race, why they would even entertain the idea of talking about Roy Halladay as far as the trade is concerned.
That's foul back left side, and the count 1-2. Well, so whoever gets Halladay, which I would assume somebody is going to make that move, is going to pay a big price.
They're getting a real good one.
There's no doubt about it.
And a guy that you've got for a year and a half, because he is signed through 2010.
Well, the dynamics of the game have changed so much in that respect. The formula used to be, 30, 40 years ago, and even beyond that, you never traded an everyday player who was going to hit you 30 to 40 home runs for a 20-game win. That was the formula. And that is not breaking ball high. That is no longer the formula.
No, you get yourself a number one starter, and there are very few bona fide number ones, but Halladay is one of them. That's a guy that you're going to pay dearly for. Look what Milwaukee did last year with Sabathia, and they only had him for the rest of that season. And that's the difference with Halladay. You got him for the rest of the year and next year, and the team might want a window to negotiate with him. Maybe you can get him a couple years after that. Then it really makes it worthwhile.
Well, the biggest difference, Steve, was back in those days you had 16 teams. You had 4-man rotations. You didn't have 30 teams like you do now, 5-man rotations. That expansion changed the formulas of how the clubs were structured.
Well, talent across the board got a little thinner, but especially as far as pitching is concerned, it's really thin.
That was the area.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch. Grady, as I mentioned, has walked 3 times today, but boys, he had a lot of foul balls. Wow.
Well, that means he's seeing the ball pretty well. Just not well enough to hit it. But he's seen it well enough to take a walk.
This will be the 8th pitch of the sequence.
Well, he saw that one, only it was a breaking ball, not a fastball, and it froze him after fouling off some fastballs. Aaron throws the equivalent of a get-me-over breaking ball, and he got it over.
That's the key.
That's the key. Just get it over.
That's a beautiful thing to see. As Martinez, they're going to put him on because there's about 80-mile-an-hour soft toss.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Aaron has worked on the intentional walk, but he is not lollipopping the ball up there. He's making sure that it's a firm intentional walk.
Well, that old saying, a man's got to know his limitations.
I don't know how many teams work on that, Hawk, or if any do. But that ball was a little closer to the plate than he would have liked. There's a lot of guys that have a lot of difficulty making an intentional walk.
In the minor leagues, they were walking me, and I hit the guy threw it up out over the plate, and I hit it right over the right center field wall.
I mean, that happens. You can throw it over the catcher's head. You throw it in the dirt.
But the difference, how long has it been since you've seen a hitter even swing at an intentional walk situation when the ball was close? Long time. But you have seen it.
I have.
Sure. Back in those days, we were ready to hit. We got up on top of the plate. We were ready to hit. Just the only thing you had to worry about, just to make sure you didn't step across the plate. Want to know the count to Chu, who was 0 for 2. You get the fan on. A ball and 2 strikes.
Well, one more high fastball, then that ought to be the end of this. Now, he's not seeing the fastball well. He's not catching up to it. Let's see what AJ decides here.
Just got a piece of it.
Just got a piece of the mask of AJ. AJ wants a high fastball. This one isn't quite as high as he would have liked, but it did get a good piece of the mask.
Chu's got a little different action against the left-hander than he does the right-hander.
No question.
A little different mechanic at the plate. There was a good breaking ball to hit right there, and Aaron got away with it.
I'm not sure I'd go with many breaking balls when a guy is that tardy on your fastball. I think you're doing him a favor here, and Aaron is very lucky because that one came spinning up there without a whole lot of break on it.
Two on, two out, the 1-2 pitch. Close. But off the plate.
AJ wants it up, and Aaron threw it down.
And Chu fighting that one off. In and out of the LG Skyline Club seats.
Looked like it popped off the forehead of one of the patrons of those seats.
So a full count with Peralta on deck. And the payoff pitch. He gone. Got another get me over breaking ball over. And that'll retire the set. We're halfway home. It is 9-6 Cleveland.
Not like this one is
This thing's flying along.
Not moving along, but last inning came very close to getting it David Huff, but he's still in the game, and he's going to make his 88th pitch. Cardinals have taken a 5-1 lead over Milwaukee, so
they're still hitting.
Yeah.
Top of the 8th.
That Milwaukee bullpen, a little shaky. I think Manny Parra started that game and threw real well. They went to the bullpen. Good luck.
Poof.
Yes, Poof is right.
AJ, 1 for 2. He's hit the ball hard twice. Also has an RBI. And that ball hit deep. Stretch. Greco back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Number 10 for AJ, and it's a 9-7 ball game.
Second RBI of the day. And the first ball fastball leaves the yard. It's a 2-run game. So Eric Wedge is doing everything he can to allow David Huff to qualify for a win. In the meantime, he's coming limping across the board. And a Ford home run replay. Low inside fastball. Left-handers just love that pitch. And AJ no exception.
Jason Nix. Jason is 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Yeah, this is when a manager is going above and beyond the call of duty to try to get a young left-hander a win.
Well, he realizes that there's a very good chance that Huff is part of the Indian future.
That's exactly what he's doing. And that's popped up right side.
There's also another factor for Eric Wedge. He has seen a few times what happens when he does go to that bullpen.
You know, when Larry Dierker became manager of the Houston Astros,
I remember.
You remember it very well.
I remember it.
He told them, fellas, look, all my starters, got them together, said, guys, forget about the 5 and fly, forget about the 6. I want you going 9.
Well, that's basically what Nolan Ryan has said to his pitchers in Texas.
And that's one reason that Larry Dierker, to me, was a guy who was an innovator of modern-day managers, so to speak, just a few years ago at the forerunner of it. Because of, watch out, Chris Getz is 2 for 2, a single, 2-run double. But Nolan is doing exactly the same thing down there. Forget about the 5 and fly, forget about the 6. I want you going deep. Now, Nolan's not saying 9 like Dierker did.
Well, a different story, but Larry said this is the kind of pitcher I was, but that's not important. What is important is we have to save our bullpen, and you, the starters, can do that.
But the point being is that Larry started off with that concept and that philosophy and was burned a lot up front. But he let those guys pitch through it, and when they got to July, they started stretching it out a little bit more and more. When they got to July and August and early September, those guys saved the bullpen.
I think he also won 3 division titles and probably never got as much credit as a manager as he probably deserved. And what a guy. Number one, what a terrific competitor he was as a pitcher.
We used to play those guys a lot in spring training.
Boy, they had guys who could throw the ball 1,000 miles an hour.
Well, we played a B game though at Winter Haven. And there's a base hit for Chris. So he's 3 for 3. More importantly, brings the tying run to the plate.
And it brings Eric Wedge out from the dugout, and apparently the 7-11 starting time also is the runs and the hits so far here in the bottom of the 5th. I think that's going to be it for David Huff.
Well, David Huff was given every opportunity to try to get a victory. Just couldn't quite get those last 2 outs. He departs, and we'll be back.
Limited buffet and drink package. Receive discounted tickets for the game. That's if you book a patio party, and you can book it today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. And Jose Veras comes into the game. Player from the Yankees, 3-1, ERA 5.87, on for the 31st time. We saw him in the ball game last night. He pitched an inning, gave up a run on 2 hits, and he inherits Chris Getz at first base. Looking in at Gordon Beckham, who represents a tying run, as the Sox, who were trailing by 7, find themselves just 2 down and only in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out.
If you're just tuning in, Indians 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, led it 9-2. Gordon is 0 for 2. He's hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice, and he is grounded to first. Scotty Pod's on deck. Top of the 9th in Minnesota, 6-4 Yankees. There goes Getz. There's the throw. Watch out.
And Chris Getz has been a terrific runner this year. He got a good jump. Veras didn't pay much attention to him, and Chris is in with his 12th stolen bag. He's only been caught once. Good jump. Long, slow delivery by Veras. Now, Shopik's got a decent arm, but this throw is off the money on the first base side of second.
That throw right there, when he turned it loose, had side of the helmet written all over it.
Yeah. Fortunately, Chris got under it.
Breaking ball, no. And the count 2-0. All right. Zone him in, reel him in, and light him up right here. 15. You can be a little choosy. Ground ball to the shortstop. Rivera throws him out for out number 2. Gordon just a shade quick right there. When you get a good pitch to hit and you hit a ground ball to the shortstop, you're just a shade quick. When you get a good pitch to hit and you pop it up to the right side, you're just a shade late. So it's up to Scotty Pods, who is 1 for 3. Takes down low. And there's a base hit. Chris is going to make the turn. Chu with a good arm throw off the mark. Scotty Pod's in the second, and it's a 9-8 ball game.
And that's a real bad play by Chu, because you've got to keep the tying run off second base. Now, you know that Getz has very good speed, and Chu didn't even come close to the cutoff man. That throw was way off the mark. It allowed Scotty Pods as a trailer to go into second base. Good piece of hitting by Scotty Pods. He drives in his 22nd run, and it's a 1-run game. And this throw is way off target. You see him airmail the cutoff man, and that allowed Posednik to coast into second base.
So here is Alexa. He is 0 for 3. He's due. First ball, curveball, strike. Took a little something off. That curveball had him way out in front. And the count 0-2. You got to cinch it up and hunker down right here, Alexa. Good check. Good effort by Veras right there. 9-8-1 for them, 8-12-1 for us. He did not go. Jermaine Dye on deck. This next pitch right here is big for Veras. Comes with a heater.
After throwing a couple of sliders and trying to entice him to go after it, he threw that fastball right in on his hands, and Alexei able to stay alive.
Now that gap out there in left center even bigger. Francisco more over towards Garco and right. Big hole between first and second. And that breaking ball hit into left center field. Chu giving chase, fighting the sun. He's there, hauls it in, and that'll retire the side. But the Sox come up with a pair. We'll go to the sixth, trailing by 1. At 9-2 after 2.5 innings. Sox came up with 4 in the third, 2 in the fifth. Stone Pony, we got a bean blower.
Well, a little more interesting right now than it was just a few short innings ago, and Octavio Dotel is going to come in the game. Pareda did a terrific job because he turned out a red-hot offense and kept the Indians right there. So Dotel comes on for the 37th time. ERA 3.34, and he's got to go through the middle part of the order.
Peralta is 2 for 3 with a ribby. RBI single in the first. He popped up to right in the second, and he singled in the fourth. Good job by Pareda. 2 in the third, no runs, 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 intentional. That ball hit deep into right center field. Nobody's going to get it. Ball is bobbled, picked up.
Now we'll see if that's double in air or a 3-base hit. Told you about the power that Peralta has the opposite way, and he did hit that ball very hard. It's double E9. Fastball on the outer part. And Peralta puts a charge into it. Then a little juggling, and now the infield has to come in at all 4 positions.
Ryan Garko is 2 for 3. A couple of singles and a couple of runs scored. First pitch strike. Jamie Carroll on deck. Outfield, they're straight up. Just a small gap out there in left center. Big swing, big miss, and the count 1-2. Minnesota hitting in the bottom of the ninth, trailing the Yankees by 2. And nice piece of hitting right there. So Gotel comes in, throws the double, gives up the single, and it is 10-8.
Second time Garco's done just that, using a protection swing. And the difference is, if that ball, the way it is, belt high, a hitter can reach out, hit a line drive. That's knee high, becomes a different story. It's a couple of base hits right by Konerko at first.
Carroll is 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. Big gap in left center. Beckham at the cut of the grass at third. Two strikes to the 35-year-old veteran infielder. They have 10 runs, we have 8. They have 10 hits, we have 12. They have 1 error, we have 2.
Still a long way to go in this one.
Oh yeah, we're not done yet. That is a final for Minneapolis, 6-4 Yankees. He gone. Curveball.
A fastball to set him up, and then a breaking ball to wipe him out. AJ pulled this one back into the zone.
Ben Francisco takes up high. He's 0 for 1, but he scored twice. He walked in the second, scored. He was hit by a pitch in the third, he scored. Then in the fourth, he went out to center field. Takes the bunt. Beckham playing back a little bit. Garco just a short lead. Should be. Ham and jam. Rack him up. Nice pick by Paulie. Nice pick on an easy. Should have been an easy double play. Meanwhile, they come up with 1, and we now trail by 2.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
A 10-8 Cleveland lead here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Jermaine Dye, Jim Thome, Paul Konerko to face Veras. Jermaine 2 for 3. Takes first pitch strike. Jermaine now 6 for 11 in this series.
He got him. He got him. And hopefully it wasn't off the hand.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to get him.
Well, you don't want to bring the tying run to the plate, especially when the tying run is a left-handed hitter with the power of Jim Thome. I think it got him off the hip.
So they put the modified shift on now, giving Jimmy a whole bunch of room on that left side. Bit of a gap out there in right center as the Indian outfield, they are spread out. Decent lead by Jermaine. And that is ball one. Jimmy 1 for 2, single. Started off that 4-run third with a 2-out, nobody on single. He also walked in the 4th.
Pitchers have been a bit of an endangered species here today.
Oh, he's got the catbird seat, 2-0. To the Yankees. 26-4, Yankees go in there and sweep Minnesota.
Tony Sipp throwing in the bullpen.
The 2-0 pitch. And it's 3-0. And there's one. He's the one still in trouble, 25, not you, buddy. And there's ball 4. So the first 2 men aboard by hit, pitch, and a walk. And here comes Paulie. Konerko 1 for 2, had an infield single and an RBI in the first. He walked and scored in the third.
Outfield deep and straight away. And they're deep all the way around. You see him playing exactly straight up. They're doing what's called pinching the middle in the infield. That's Cabrera and Carroll. Very close to the bag.
Looking for the double play. And that's up high, ball 1. Now Victor Martinez wants to come over and have a little chat with a big right-hander.
And for Eric Wedge, it probably appears like that movie Groundhog Day. He goes to that bullpen and he sees the same thing. And it hasn't been particularly good.
He can only play what he's got.
It's true.
That's into center field. Paulie Bears beat him on that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And that's out number 1. So he's got the left-hander down the pin as Wedge comes popping out of that dugout. He doesn't want to give Perez any part of A.J. Pierzynski. Now he makes the sign. Plus, listen in on Ozzy's post-game remarks. Don't miss U.S. Cellular White Sox post-game live immediately following our game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Tony Sipp comes in with runners at first and second. There's an out, and he has some amazing numbers in that left-handers are hitting 136 against him. Right-handers hitting 118 against him. And yet he has an ERA just under 3, and the reason is because he has a hard time with his control. He's given up 12 walks in 12 and a third innings. And the first man he's going to look at is A.J. Pierzynski,
who is 2 for 3 today, an RBI single and a home run leading off last inning. So here we go. Indians lead it 10-8. Sox coming back from a 9-2 deficit.
Sipp has given up 3 home runs, 2 of them to left-hand hitters. That's in 12 and a third innings, so that's a pretty high total.
Outfield around to the left slightly. He did not go, and the count 2-0. Of course, with that home run by A.J. last inning, the Alex Snellius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 102, so $10,200 donated by Alex Snellius in loving memory of Ursula. Big hack. No contact. Nice and easy, short and quick. Ground ball. Nice pick right there on the short hop by Martinez. And that is out number 2. So Jason Nix, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Outfield about equidistant, straight up. As he pours first pitch strike right over at 93.
Runners in scoring position today, the Sox have been unusually good. They've been pretty good most of the year.
And that's off the outside corner. So the count evens at 1 with a big pitch coming up. 1-1. That breaking ball fired foul off the bat of Nix. So now Tony Sipp well in command of the count. Taking right back through the middle. Jason. Nice play by Shopik.
Well, Sipp tried to throw that one away, but Shopik with a real good effort. Sipp bidding for his 4th wild pitch of the year in just 12 1/3 innings. Shopik able to make the play.
There's a shot foul. Jermaine having to play the old get down quick trick.
Jermaine sees the line drive and avoids it.
Stay on top of him, 5. Breaking ball down and in. Good pitch right there by Sipp. Meanwhile, we threaten. We cannot score. We'll go to the 7th, trailing 10-8. Saturday and Sunday against the Twins at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. We're going to be running Danks, Floyd, and Burley out there. They're going to be running Blackburn, to be announced, and Scott Baker. Our Felco upcoming schedule. Top of the 7th inning. Kelly Shopik has had a big day. He is 1 for 1 with a grand slam homer and a bases loaded walk. In fact, he has walked twice. 0-1 the count. Chapik now 7 homers and 24 knocked in. Spinner.
It's really all you have to do. In fact, Octavio threw a first ball fastball, threw it by him, but
dangerous ground.
Yeah, well, you're really risking giving him a pitch that he can handle as opposed to one that he really can't.
That grand slam that he hit back in the second inning on Clayton Richard was first ball fastball. Another breaking pitch. And the count 1-2.
Ed Thornton loosening up in the bullpen.
He gone.
One and two count. AJ wants it away. Octavio gets it inside. Chapik gets just a piece of it, but it sticks in the glove.
Also, as you saw in our Felco upcoming schedule, after we finish that 3-game set for the Twinkies, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th, the All-Star break. And then the 17th, Baltimore comes to town. As there's a little chopper. Get over there. He will. 2 down. So Cabrera now 1 for 3. But that's going to be a big homestand for us. We got Baltimore for 3 starting on the 17th, followed by Tampa Bay for 4. And then we go right back to Detroit and Minnesota. So here's Sizemore. He's walked 3 times and struck out once. Takes first pitch strike.
Rafael Betancourt throwing in the bullpen.
And the count 0-2. For our guys in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Getz, Beckham, and back to the top of the order with Scotty Pies. Chris Getz 3 for 3 today with a couple of RBIs. Way high, way wide. Curveball. Stayed out and around. 2-2. And Sizemore another foul ball. He has fouled off an inordinate amount of pitches today.
The man who's been up 4 times with no contact. Yes.
A beautiful day here in the beautiful city. And that's way wide. $27,257 in the house. And the payoff. He gone. 1, 2, 3 inning. Couple strikeouts for Dotel. 7th inning stretch. We need 2 to tie. Chris Getz to lead it off here in our half of the 7th inning, as I mentioned. He is 3 for 3, a couple singles, a 2-run double, and a run scored to go along with a stolen base as he takes first pitch strike. That is the 303rd pitch thrown in this game. Our guys have thrown 173 of them. And we're just in the bottom of the 7th with nobody out.
Well, if Sip gets the ball over, he's pretty tough to hit. And last inning he did get the ball over and got out of a nasty jam.
That's foul back. So now Sip on top of Chris Getz. 1-2. Good 2-strike hitter right here, Chris. That breaking ball is low. That evens the count at 2. Later on today, Cincinnati at Philadelphia. Kansas City taking on the Red Sox at Fenway. Full count. And there's a good at bat. The leadoff walk.
Sip keeps his 1 walk per inning ratio going and brings a tying run to the plate. And it also brings Eric Wedge out. He's probably going to get to Rafael Betancourt. Your choice in July, August, and September. It's a great way to guarantee tickets to matchups against the Red Sox, Yankees, and Tigers. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com to purchase your plan today. And Rafael Betancourt just activated off the disabled list. He was placed on there June 1st with a groin problem. There you look at the numbers. On for the 26th time. Left-handers have murdered him. He's done well against the right-handers. He inherits Chris Getz, who kept his perfect day in order with a walk. And Gordon Beckham representing the tying run.
Gordon's due. He's 0 for 3. 3 ground balls, 2 to short, 1 to first. Chris with a decent lead. Betancourt, decent move over to first. That's not his best one. Outfield straight up, spread out. Peralta in short. About 4 steps off the line at third. 10-8 Cleveland here in the bottom of the 7th. And that ball into left center field, but Chu is there, makes the catch, and it is out number 1. So here's Scotty Pods. He is 2 for 4 today. Knocked in a run was Chris Getz back in the 5th inning where they single. A sharp single to the left.
Scott has had some good luck against Betancourt in the past.
Takes first pitch strike. First and 30 right here. Scotty Pods. Alexei on deck. Cardinals beat Milwaukee 5-1. Later on, Texas taking on the Mariners out in Seattle. It's Hunter against Hernandez.
Pretty good throw by Kelly Shopping. Chris Getz got a tremendous jump again. He's got great acceleration. This wasn't a real big lead. And with Pods taking it all the way, he's in ahead of the tag.
One out and the 1-1 pitch. That ball hit in the left field. Chu now backing up. He's there, makes the catch, and that is out number 2. So here comes Alexei. He's 0 for 4. 3 times he has gone out to left, and 1 time he has struck out, which he really didn't. It was ball 4, but Bob Davis called him out, which he did not swing.
Pena and Thornton throwing in the bullpen. We score a run here. Most likely it's Thornton. We don't. Most likely it's Pena.
Well, that's up to Alexei at this point. Alexei's had a tough go against Betancourt. 0 for 8. Jermaine on the other side of the page on deck is 4 for 16 with a homer. Come on, Alexei. We need you. Pretty good pitch to hit. Meanwhile, the count is 0-2. Alexei in his 8 at-bats against Betancourt has struck out half the time. Good 2-strike hitter right here. Breaking ball low and away. Betancourt will absolutely slow play you to death.
This is actually working quickly for him.
Very, very slow work. So he's now 0 for 9 with 5 strikeouts, and we'll go to the 8th. Okay, Chuck. Yeah, you're right. We're into the 8th inning of the never-ending game.
And Matt Thornton comes in. He's the 5th Sox pitcher of the day. There you look at some pretty impressive numbers. He'll face Martinez, Chu, and with Pena loosening up, then we'll see if it's going to be Pena against Peralta.
First pitch up high to Victor Martinez, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI.
That threw an inning and 2/3 last night in relief of Contreras. Struck out 2. They were perfect.
Threw the ball very well last evening. As a rule, he generally throws the ball very well.
Yeah, he's had a really good, solid year out of the pen.
Thirty-year-old catcher, first baseman, takes ball 2. Other National League action will show San Diego at San Francisco, Arizona hosting the Marlins, Atlanta at Colorado. That's Hanson against Cook in that game. That's popped up right side. Paulie, that's a piece of cake. 1 out. And of course, the Dodgers taking on the Mets in New York. Here's Chu. He is 0 for 3. Not a good attempt right there.
Well, he tried to bunt his way on. Then it looked like it was more for protection than anything else, because as he was running, that ball was following it.
Sometimes that ball has a habit of running you down.
Don't do that. Joe Smith loosening up in the bullpen. He is a sidearm right-hander.
And a count 0-2. Chu grounded out 3-1. Then he walked. Then the last 2 times he has struck out. Chu, 26 years old, out of Busan, Korea. 5'11", 200 pounds. He gone. He knew it.
Pretty tough for left-handers to have any kind of luck against Thornton, because he'll throw that high fastball by you and then put a little cutter on the outside corner. Nice talking to you.
Here's Peralta. He's had a good day. 3 for 4, an RBI, and a run scored. 10-10-1 for the Indians. 8-12-2 for our Sox here in the finale of this brief 3-game set, this brief 3-game homestand. And very quickly the count 0-2.
And the real oddity of this one is the top 4 hitters, Cabrera, Sizemore, Martinez, and Chu, combined in a day where the Indians have scored a whole lot, have scored 2 of the runs. That's been it. And that was in the first inning off a double steal and an error.
Peralta scored once, Garco twice, Carroll twice, Francisco twice, and Shopping, who hit the grand slam. He gone. 1, 2, 3, 2 strikeouts. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Dye, Tomey, and Konerko. Pitcher to face the heart of our order.
Joe Smith coming on. There was a lot of thunder early in this one, but the latter innings, the bullpens on both sides have taken over. And still a 2-run deficit as the Sox face Joe Smith, who doesn't have a record, but he does have a 4.0 ERA, 18 innings, 17 hits. His control has been a factor, 11 walks in those 18 innings. And he goes right through the heart of the order. The Sox try to claw their way back in.
Jermaine is 2 for 3. Singled and scored in the first, lined out hard to right field in the third, singled hard in the fourth to right, and then in the sixth leading off was hit by a pitch. So here we go. The iron of our order. Takes it low and away. 1-1 to count.
And the bullpen up and going once again for the Indians.
Little drop down breaking ball, and Jermaine could not pick it up. 1-2. Just tuning in, Kerry Wood down the thing, but if you're just tuning in, Indians led it 9-2 after 2.5 innings. Now a full count. Ball 4, base hit. So 1 out. 5th strikeout for Indian pitching this afternoon. And here's Big Jim Thome, who's 1 for 2. A single, a run scored, and a couple of walks. Got the shift on. And there's first pitch strike from Smith. Off speed, up and away. Breaking ball strike from the 25-year-old right-hander out of Cincinnati. Two and two. Smith, born in Cincinnati, now resides in the lovely area of West Palm Beach, Florida. Good eye, good check. Full count. So he goes full to Jermaine, gets him on the breaking ball. He is full to Thome. Off-speed pitch there.
Yeah, Jimmy battling to stay alive. Too close to take on that one. He just barely got a piece of it.
Outfield really spread out. 2 down.
There's the in-game box score. You can see a lot of big offensive numbers. Chris Getz having a terrific day, as is AJ. Scott Posednik doing a nice job of it. Getz also has a couple of stolen bases.
So here's Paulie. 1 for 3 with an RBI. Takes ball 1. AJ on deck. AJ swinging the bat well today. He's 2 for 4 with a homer. So we need Paul to get on or go deep. And the count 2-0. Indians 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the sixth. Sox 2 in the first, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fifth. 1 home run for us, 1 home run for them. And there's the strike. That breaking ball just a little too far outside. So 3-1. He's got to have, from up here, he looks just very, very ordinary. That breaking ball of his has got to be real late quick to the eye of the hitter. And that's ball 4, so that will bring the tying run to the plate. And Pierzynski.
And here comes Eric Wedge again, and he's going to go to his closer to get a 4-out save.
All right, so Joe Smith strikes out Nye, strikes out Tomey, walks Konerko. He departs, and we'll be back.
Uh, 16 walks in 28 in the third innings, but he's fanned 31. A couple of wild pitches. One of them cost him a game at Wrigley Field. And he's facing the tying run in A.J. Pierzynski. A.J. in the fifth inning takes a low fastball and hits it out of the ballpark. At the time, it brought the Sox within 1.
Can he do it again? A.J. is lined hard to center. He's singled, knocked in a run in the third, homered in the fifth, and grounded out to first in the sixth. 32-year-old right-hander, 6'5", 211 pounds, out of Irving, Texas. Kerry Wood.
You got Dwayne Wise in the on-deck circle.
Big rip, fouls it back. That fastball at 95. There's DW. Big pitch right here. The 1-1. Wow, he just missed it. Got a good pitch to hit and just underneath it. As Francisco has a long way to go, he gets there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. We will go to the ninth. It is still 10-8 Indians.
Over in left field, that means he's going to lead off the 9th inning. And there's our first look at Tony Pena, who came over from the Diamondbacks. 5-3 record, ERA 4.24. Lifetime 16-13 with a lifetime ERA of 4.08. He's a hard-throwing right-hander. And he was traded from the Diamondbacks for Brandon Allen. So Pena is 27. Big man, 6'2", 220 pounds. And he's got to hold the Indians right here for a good shot in the 9th.
Ryan Garko is 3 for 4 today with an RBI and a couple of runs scored. 10-10-1 for them. 8-12-2 for us. Ground ball in the hole, base hit. Garko 4 hits.
They're going to pinch run for him because that is a big insurance run. It's Chris Jimenez.
That's who it is. Jamie Carroll.
Big day for Ryan Garko.
Beckham in on the grass at third. Outfield slightly to the right, gap in left center. And a decent lead by Jimenez. Not a good effort right there by Carroll. 27,257 in the house on what has been just a beautiful day for baseball. But unfortunately, we fell behind 9-2 if you're just tuning in after 2.5 innings. That'll get the job done. Sacrifice 3-4.
Third sacrifice of the year for Carroll.
And Ben Francisco will be the hitter. Francisco is 0 for 2. He's flied to center, hit into a 6-4-3 double play. But in the second, he was walked and he scored. In the third, he was hit by a pitch and he scored.
Pena is the 6th Sox pitcher.
And in the first 5, our guys walked 10 guys. One intention.
Not good.
Now, 10 walks will usually get you an L. Unless your name is Joe Cowley. Then it'll get you a no-hitter.
I was going to say the beat writer or the pitcher.
What do you want? 8 or 9 guys in that no-hitter against the Angels?
Something like that.
2-0 the count. With Kelly Shopik on deck. One out here in the top of the 9th. And the count 3-0. This has been one of those games, if you're just joining us, it's not fun to play in. It's fun to hit in, but not fun to play in. And there's a strike. Come back and get him, Tony. And there's a strike on the outside corner to fill it up. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Off down to the bat. Slowly hit. Gets, sucks it up. Throws him out. 2 down. For our guys in the bottom half of the ninth, schedule hitters are Wise, Getz, and Beckham to face Kerry Wood.
And the bench devoid of left-handers, so.
Well,
right-handers just have to get him after Wise.
There you go.
Of course, Getz has had a terrific day today.
And Beckham's due. One to count to Shopik. That grand slam homer in the second inning. Garco started that inning off with a single, then back-to-back walks to Carroll and Francisco, and then first ball fastball from Clayton Richard. Shopik hit it out of here. Good fastball right there.
He's been throwing it up there 94, 95 miles an hour.
Well, he should be, because of the fact that we had to give up a pretty good prospect to get it.
Well, there's no doubt that Allen will be a pretty good player.
He's going to play in the big league. He gone. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. We need 2 off Kerry Wood. The Twins house as the Sox battle Joe Mauer and Justin Morneau at the Metrodome. Don't miss the Sox and Twins in high definition tomorrow night at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Chris Jimenez stays in the game in right field. So it'll be the 2 left-handers to lead it off. Wise, Getz, and then Beckham, and back to the top with Posednik.
Well, Blaine Wise hitting and Jason Nick's spot. Nick's was 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Wise has faced Kerry Wood 4 times, has 1 hit. Looking for it, got it, and underneath it. That fastball at 94. Outfield slightly to the right. Huge gap in left center, and you've got Peralta, even with the bag off the line, at third. And Victor Martinez in halfway and well off the line at first. That's up high at 96. Good rip, but underneath it. So Wood on top in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. And once again, a reminder, tomorrow night, Johnny Danks against Nick Blackburn. First of that 3-game set from the Metrodome, and that game will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Just off the corner, good eye.
The pitch that Carey has the most confidence in is usually his slider. So far, he has not thrown it to Wise.
And a full count. Call for a base hit right here. D. Wise, we need you. And another souvenir left side. Ow, just foul. That ball hit hard right at him. That is a hang whiff'em for Dwayne Wise. Mercy.
A good battle by Wise. And he hit it as hard as you could hit it, but right at Chew.
So here's Getz. He is 3 for 3 with a walk. He had a 2-run double in the third. Scored a run on the single in the fifth. Little chopper, Cabrera, no! He beats it out. Tying run will come to the plate.
And what a day for Chris Getz. Been on base all 5 times. A good effort by Cabrera at shortstop. But Getz with great speed, able to beat this one out. That'll bring the tying run to the plate.
And Gordon's due. He is hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice, grounded to first, grounded out 6-3, and going out to center field. Take strike 1 at 95. Man, that ball that Dwayne Wise hit scalded it right at the left field. That won't work.
And you're not going to hit that one. And Beckham has never seen the Wood slider, so it's going to be tough if he throws him another one.
Scotty Pod's on deck. Good try by Wood. Just off the corner. And a good layoff right there. 2-2. Just got a piece of it. Stay with him, 15. Stay with him. Short and quick. And that slider fouled away right side. Getz cannot afford to get doubled up here on the line drive as he strikes him out. 2 down.
Went to the high heat and threw it right by him.
Scotty Pods. He is 5 for 16 with a double and a triple. And 3 walks against Kerry Woods is now. They're playing behind Getz. That is not a stolen base. One and one to count. Starting pitchers in this game, Clayton Richard for us, David Huff for them. And both of them got touched up. We're down to our last bullet. Ball and 2 strikes. Breaking ball, no chance. Two out. And the 2-2 pitch. Slashed foul.
Close to impossible to get the ball between Peralta and the line as he's playing a no doubles defense, as is Chu in left field.
Now Wood accepts the sign from Shoppett. And that breaking ball. That's fired out of play left side. And another souvenir.
Pretty good battle as the 8th pitch of the at-bat about ready to be delivered.
And another souvenir just underneath us. Sox have given it a good go today, trailing 9-2 after 2.5 innings. Came back to get within 1 before the run in the 6th inning for Cleveland. Yes, he did. And that'll do it. So the Sox win the first two. Cleveland comes out, jumps out to that 9-2 lead, Stone Pony. And we just tried but couldn't get there.
Well, for the first time in a while, this Cleveland bullpen really was sharp today. Huff didn't have it, but